Let's go. Make it quick.
Here's best shake hands after this. Wait, what is this for though?
Nice!
Stop.
What we have here are two guys that in the gym are probably going to light it up pretty well, but now they've not got gloves, they don't have mats, they don't have lights, they're not prepared for it, and they're just deciding to go at it. There's something here called the skill gap. When I'm actually teaching and when I'm training people, I'm very big on being specific with form. If you're very clinical in what you do in class, when you actually apply that for real, your skill denigration will actually be less, because what happens is anything you do under pressure gets worse. Whilst there is a certain engagement piece necessary to get you fired up to do it in the first place, no plan ever survives contact with the enemy. Or as Mike Tyson once said, no everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So if your skill set is already a little sloppy, a little loose, and a little aggressive when you're actually in a training environment, when you go to a real environment, your skills will degrade massively. So if you're swinging like this in class, when you're now on a straight, you're going to be swinging like a windmill. If you're nice and tight and crisp, when you start to go looser, you're at least maintaining some semblance of form. These two guys here have got okay form as they're going around. It isn't the best I've seen, but at least you can tell they've trained in something. So our guy with the long hair here starts off with those beautiful Muay Thai style kicks and he's firing them in. So on the surface, we know, okay, this guy's a kickboxer, he knows what he's doing. The other guy's not checking him, he isn't moving like a kickboxer. Chances are he hasn't done that. But if you watch the way his hands come up and he's going them here, he's either boxed or he's just a puncher. What he's waiting for is an opportunity. And when that opportunity is gifted to him, he takes full advantage of this. Now, this is one of the differences between being good and being a master. Being a master of a technique or a skill set does not mean that you can do it whenever you want to, whoever you want. And this is often misunderstood. The difference between someone that's an amateur, someone that's a pro, or someone that's just good and someone that's a master is not always in the skill. It's the timing. An amateur fighter will hit you when you are open. A professional fighter will hit you where you are open. On the surface, if you were to say, I can kick, I can elbow, I can knee, and I can punch, this guy can just punch. When you put that on paper, you go with a guy that can do more. And logically, that does kind of make sense, provided all other things are equal. But combat is never just about the techniques. When people do breakdowns on videos like the Reality Check series or like whatever other social media content creator of choice you're looking at, they often just look at the techniques. This was a good punch, that was a good punch, this was a good throw, that was a good choke. But there's so much more going on behind that. Technique is one level. Attributes are where the difference comes in. So the guy that can time you off with a good straight hand will actually probably win more fights than the guy that's got a lot of tools in his box but can't fully apply them. Street fights, in the same way as ring fights, need context. Skill needs context. The distance, the lineups, and everything are related, but they are not identical. You have to be able to shift accordingly. The training for the ring and the competition gives you the confidence to stand in front of someone while they're throwing punches. Your ability to adjust to the distancing is what makes the difference between a good fighter and a great fighter. This is assuming you consider fighting in the street to be a sensible endeavor. Personally, I do not. At my age, we all know what my watchword is. Cup of coffee and a chocolate biscuit. That makes life a lot happier for me. But if you are going to fight, and you are going to be in a situation where someone is either not giving you the choice to fight, your command of difference and your context of violence is every bit as important as the tools you throw themselves. Bruce Lee used to say, I fear not the man that knows 10,000 kicks, but the man that has got one kick he's practiced 10,000 times. Now, whether you subscribe to Bruce Lee as being capable or not is actually largely irrelevant. The point is, if you can throw one technique effectively, that can last far, far better and get far better results than several techniques thrown ineffectively. The Spartans used to have another saying, the fox has many ways to escape, the hedgehog but one. This isn't to denigrate the hedgehog, it was more to say its manner of escape is so ingrained, it can do it almost at will. And that's what we want to do when we do self-protection. My skill set, if it's in a situation where it needs to deploy, needs to be quick, effective, and able to be deployed at will. I don't want to be flailing, I don't want to be making this like a sparring match or a pseudo MMA match. I need to hit you hard, I need to hit you fast, and as we saw here, you need to stay hit.